Who remembers the chicks? They're not chicks anymore. They're definitely gigantic. Good morning everybody and welcome to this week's video. Don't know why I'm talking like that. We are going for some training today. I'm so excited. Going to see Ian with Obi. So they have announced that it is possible that the Nationals may run again. So when we went to regionals, we got a wild card in the music, and it meant that we had qualified for the Nationals, which is a huge competition in the UK. It's like the last level as such, the highest level in terms of affiliated competition, not in terms of level as in I was competing at novice level, but in terms of there isn't then another championship after that. It's like the top of the tree, which is really, really exciting. But then coronavirus happened and we didn't get to go. It got cancelled, which was a real shame. I've never qualified for the Nationals before, and I've always show jumped and that kind of thing, so to be able to get to that level with Obi was really, really exciting. But now they may run them again because we've had coronavirus and things are kind of going back to normal in the UK now, sort of. I need to be ready is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to go for some training today to get started back on that road. Obviously I've been training at home, but not with Obi at anywhere else, so it'd be really nice to get him out and see how he's feeling and see what Ian thinks and have then some homework to work on. I also gave Obi a haircut yesterday, so I'm going to put that in now. I trimmed all his legs and his mane, and I'll show you how I blend his legs because a lot of people have asked me about that. I also answered the question as to why I cut his mane off, so watch this space because loads of people asked me that. Hi Obi, would you like a haircut? So I have had a number of requests for this video about how I clip and trim Obi up basically. So probably my most asked question is, why do we clip Obi's mane off? It is true to his type. He is a heavyweight cob, essentially. Cob being a kind of heavy bred horse. It's non-specific. They tend to be black and white, brown and white, brown, black and white, all one colour. They can be bay and stuff, but they are less common. Mainly black and white. That seems to be the most common. Sometimes they have long hair. Sometimes they have hogged, like we do, is what we call it in the UK. We basically clip the whole lot off. So, anyway, I'm going to show you how I trim Obi up. He grows feathers. Oh, I'm walking up a hill. Excuse the panting. He grows feathers as well, so I'm going to trim his legs up. So I clip them basically from the bottom upwards, so that, but I do it in a clever way so that you can't see that I've done it. And yeah, it's really effective and smooth. So I will show you guys how I do that. Anyway, I'll stop panting now, getting back to the stable and then start clipping and show you all what I do. As you can see, his mane is quite long and his forelock is too. And then that's his old injury there, if you're wondering what that lumpy bit is. And then he's got his hairy heels. So they're not that bad. They weren't done that long ago, but we're going for some training tomorrow. So we're gonna trim him all up. These are my clippers of choice. Lister Star. They're really light and they are not cordless, so they run at quite a high speed. So Obi's really good and I don't have to worry too much about him reacting with his legs, but obviously really be careful if you have got a sensitive horse. So you see I can just clip up to the change in the colour essentially, and then as I get to that point I then clip downwards so that I can create a smooth line. I also do like to clip up the back of
the knee, which you'll see me do in a second. But it's just a case of going really gradually, and as you can see, as I'm coming up to the edge, I kind of pull the clippers away slightly and then change direction as well, so that I get a longer bit of hair on that joining part. It's quite satisfying to watch, I think, this. This is the harder leg to do because there's less white on it, so I clip down the back of the leg downwards and then up to the white part. You can see I'm like pulling the clippers away. I'm not pushing them to be close to the leg at the point of the join, and that way you can get a nice smooth line. Making sure I don't miss any bits, very important. So I've moved on to the back legs now, and Obi could be a little bit sensitive, so you'll see in a moment that I actually lift the leg up. So again, the same thing, not holding the clippers too flat to him, just making sure that I'm really kind of going over gently, not trying to get the clip too close to his coat. These are not fine blades, they're medium blades as well, so they won't be taking it quite as short. You can see here, by lifting his leg up, I can then get into that, the back of where the ergot is a little bit more easily, and getting in the groove under his fetlock. He can be a bit sensitive with his back legs, so it helps to pick them up so that he's not then, you see there, he pulls back a little bit where he's a bit reactive. He gets some scabs on his back legs, which is another reason why we clip him like this.
So when I was younger, I always wanted to do this to my pony, but I was never allowed because he wasn't the right type and it would have looked silly. So now that I get to do it to Obi, it's like the best thing ever because it's very therapeutic. So I hope you enjoy your horsey ASMR, everyone. Good. So I wouldn't normally do this bit. Oh, what's wrong with my clipper? I wouldn't normally. These ones are from B&M. They were £10. They are Groom Ease by Wall, and they seem to be pretty good for like doing their ears and stuff. But I just turned them on. They've gone a bit weird. I have actually bought some new ones to replace them, but as it's been Corona, George, my other half, keeps using them to cut his own hair. So, right, now I'm going to go around the other side and do the other side. I think that looks good from here. You don't zoom in too much, Lex. I'm meant to be telling people how I'm good at this. And they're like, yeah, looks fine. I think the key is just do it really slowly, and like bit by bit, and then go over a bit and take it. Right, I'm going to do this full lock now. Don't worry, mate, you get to keep your whiskers these days. Your showing days are over. So I've given him a little brush. And I will get covered in his hair now for a few days until I give him a bath. But that's not bad. And then we've got his legs, and you would never know. Well, hopefully there'll be one of you guys that notices a little wobbly bit, but there we go. That's the back leg all trimmed up. Trimmed his tail. Looking good. Let's just give this side a brush. So there we are, lovely and clean. I'm going to go and exercise some horses now, and then we're leaving at about 10:45. So I've got 2 hours to exercise some horses, just got a few to do. And I will see you on the other side. There's yours. Lovely Betty. Betty is 5. I don't need to tell you all of this. Anyway, she's 5 and she's here for training. She's doing really well. We turned the foal out. I'll show you that video. She's always cute, isn't she? She's been doing really well actually. Starting to get the turning the hind leg a bit better and stepping back and stuff. So good to, well, if you follow me on Patreon, you'll understand about the groundwork. But we really do start when they're really little, because it's well, it's what we need to be doing. It's Ralph doing a poop in the background. Oh, look at that. Doesn't look like much, but. Go on your right, and turn. So for anybody that does the groundwork, this is where it starts. Interesting that the right is not as good as the left. Straight away when we... Come on, don't go back. Ralph came in the field and she was coming towards him like this, and then they both got really close and they went "Wah!" and they ran away from each other again. You're a good girl. You're super smart. Very smart. Oh, you're very brave now. I mean, stupid or brave, I'm not sure. What are you doing? It's worth it for the poops. Foal poop is the best poop. Worth risking life and limb for, apparently, Ralph. Oh, good girl. So I just lunged the 2 young horses, and I'm really pleased with both of them actually. We did some pole work with Zora. Well, obviously you've just seen it. What's wrong with me today? I was just saying to Megan and Lucy, who work for me, that I didn't know what was going on today, and I keep vlogging random bits. A bit all over the place. I am gonna do Cookie the breaker now, so I'll show you guys a bit where she's at. Not being one of them really long videos. I'm sure you guys appreciate that though. Just feel like I say stupid things that nobody needs to hear. That is where I'm at this morning. Obi wants to be front-facing cat. Obi, that was... Oh dear, how funny is that? I was videoing myself in the tail bandage on, and he pushed the door open and then put his nose up to the camera like, oh, am I in it? Is it about me again? It is, it's about you again, I think. Some lunch. Travelling snacks for HRH. His mane looks good today, doesn't it? Oh, really smooth. You're literally paid to say that, so sorry. She's not allowed to say it looks shit because I did it yesterday. Boots, set of bandages because his normal exercise boots are damp because they went in the wash. And we are ready to go. It's only about 45 minutes, so not far. So we've just arrived, and it is hammering it down. Hopefully just a shower. I mean, I can't see any blue skies, but we'll pray. Ralph is not a fan. Well, you're not a fan, you little sausage. You can go back in the lorry, don't worry. Today I have remembered one glove and no spurs. So that's really good. Luckily the person whose lorry I'm borrowing has a stick, but I would much rather not ride with a stick. This is all going rather wrong. Right.
Out.
Yeah. Oh, it's sort of stopping raining.
Yeah, it is.
The sky is sort of turning blue again. I love that coat, Michelle. It's a lovely colour. And then stop there and I'll get on before my saddle gets too... So this was our warm-up. It was so windy that I've taken the sound off because you couldn't have heard anything anyone was saying anyway. So I just gave him a nice stretch, and actually looking at the video, he looks super active. He's really starting to use himself better and better, which is so nice. And actually carrying a stick was quite good. It meant I kind of wasn't nagging or over-relying on my leg aid. I could just give him a little reminder every now and again when he was being a bit maybe... well, not reactive from my leg. You'll notice he swishes his tail a little bit, and that is because I'm carrying the stick. Every time I give him a little tiny reminder, that was his reaction, which is quite interesting, and it's feedback to know that I don't get that reaction from wearing a pair of spurs, and I always only wear blunt ones, but yeah, it was just quite interesting to kind of see the difference in him, and actually it was quite like a healthy reminder. I don't ride with any spur or a stick at home, so when I went to training, it was obviously... I wanted to make sure that I really had him in front of my leg, and it was a different aid to carry the stick. It's never to solve a problem, it's only ever really to kind of enhance what you've already got. So yeah, I don't use the stick to make him off my leg, but it is there as an enhancement for that aid. We went on and worked a bit on the on and the back in the canter, so making sure he was in the shoulder 4 shape, and then pushing him on and bringing him back when he was super straight, working on keeping the neck out and the hind leg active. That was our mindset when we were working in the canter. It was good. He felt with me and really super positive. He had some trouble up in this corner being a bit spooky, so we were using a 10-metre circle to help him regain his bend through his rib cage. He tends to block me laterally in the bend. And then we went and did some counter, and this was where Miriam forgot to ride. So he was good in the counter here, lovely and balanced, and as we approached the corner, I just didn't have him around my outside leg enough, and he did half a flying change, and then he did the rest of it, so I praised him for that. But it wasn't great. That wasn't my finest moment. You'll see here when I go to left counter how different he is. He's much more balanced on the left rein. You'd call him a left-handed horse. So you can see here, he holds the counter really well all the way through the short side. Apologies for the non-zooming. Michelle didn't know how to do it on my camera. And then we can come back then to the right. And I just had a rest there and then picking it back up onto right canter. You can see here when I have him better to the outside, have better outside rein contact, I'm able to keep him in the counter right. And then as a reward, rather than a downward transition, I just take him back onto the right canter, making sure I'm keeping it active. And then I just rode a nice easy line here. We went round the top of the arena, this amazing, gigantic arena, which was so lovely to ride in. Having ridden in my little one for so long, it felt such a pleasure and a treat to have such a nice big amount of space. And then here we were working a little bit in the shoulder 4 feeling, so just thinking about the quarters coming off the track, keeping the hind leg underneath. And then here I then rode the more difficult line again back into the counter. So my plan had been to ride a hard turn there, so I came back to the track quite sharply, and then to ride an easy half semicircle across the arena. And here I just felt the tension coming, so instead of carrying on left, I rode a 10-metre circle right. And I kind of brought it quite tight, and I said, come on, come round my right leg again, don't block me. And then it meant I could then make a really positive change in that feeling of the training, rather than him blocking me. Here he got a little strong, he was taking me a bit onto the shoulder so I could make a half halt. And then here I was then able to make good counter right, and it felt really fantastic. It was just lovely having that. I was able to put him back round my right leg so much more easily than I used to have been able to. And then I gave him a stretch and a little pat to say, well done. That was a good bit of work. And we left the counter there because he finds it hard, so it's important not to overdo it.
the next exercise we rode, we did some shoulder 4 renvers. So shoulder 4 is when the shoulder comes off the track with left bending, if you're on the left rein, a little bit of left bending. So you see here the quarters go to the outside slightly. It's not a great angle for the video. And then I just took a little more outside rein to create renvers. So that's shoulder in, but with the nose coming to the outside. And then we were riding the medium trot. So we were using the shoulder 4 to create lift from the shoulder. And then that was enabling us then to ride some really nice medium trot steps. Bear in mind, this is the first time this horse has done anything of this complexity in a while. It was really super to feel him feeling so great and with so much push from behind. So it was lovely, actually. He felt very good on both reins. The right rein always is slightly harder for him. His left hind leg seems to be slightly weaker, so it seems to be the one he finds it hard to push from. So we had to take a bit less success on the right rein, which is often the way. And then we did some really good leg yield, and he was really making good crossing, and I was able to sit and keep the neck out in front of me. And yeah, it was just a wonderful feeling to get him moving so well away from my legs. I've never had him feeling so strong laterally like this before.
Suitably red and flustered looking. That was absolutely fantastic. That was the best feeling. He felt really brilliant. I will do a bit more debrief after we've driven back. We're going to leave now. This one amazing place. You'll have seen on the video how absolutely stunning it was. What the dreams are made of when you come to places like this. But yeah, going to drive back now and eat some food and maybe drink a lot of water. So I will see you on the other side. Come on, little lorry dog. You good boy. It's actually sick on the way. Caught it in a plastic bag. If you watch this, funny. Caroline, Michelle thought it was very funny. It was funny at the time until she started retching. Just gets a bit carsick still. Anyway, we have just arrived back at the yard. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Well, I've just shown you the hedge. That's Indy over there. So I've just got to sort Sir HRH out. I think I need to wash his head. We didn't have a sponge with us, so I washed his whole body, but I didn't wash his head. All sorted now. Lorry cleared. Just putting all of the various things away. It's so wonderful to be back training. It's been a funny old time. It was a really big arena, 25 by 65, so a bit longer than normal, and then a bit wider as well. And the arena here feels like it is about as long as that arena was wide. I don't know what the light's doing now, hang on. Not really. It's not the best lighting when your hair's like that. But yeah, it was so then when you ride in a larger arena like that, you really appreciate it, and it felt really easy almost, like no sudden tight turns, or like you didn't suddenly meet the end of the arena very quickly. What I'm trying to say is, when you have lesser space, it doesn't necessarily, like, it's not particularly that anything is like easier or harder, but it just makes you really work hard in the small space, and then makes you appreciate big space more and more. Wonderful to see Ian again. Haven't seen him all of Corona. And it's just really nice to be out. We worked on a few different things. We worked on the Canter, which OB has previously found very difficult. And I don't know whether Michelle videoed it, I haven't checked the footage yet, but there were some still wobbly moments where I just wasn't doing all of what I needed to do. And then there are also moments where Obi doesn't do quite what he needs to do. But we worked through it, and it was really positive, and we got some great homework to be working on. But something that was so nice that Ian said was that he could really see that Obi was stronger and further more out in the neck. So all of the time when we've been working in the groundwork and the long lining and everything we've been doing. We've been working a lot on Obi becoming longer and more through to the connection. So it has meant that he has then got more space to move over his back. And, you know, Ian mentioned that he was more active in the hind leg. And it's something that I have received a few comments on in the past, like, still a bit slow behind. And I'm like, yeah, it's a process with Obi, definitely. So it's just been great now that the neck is more out and he is more strong through his core, but then the hind leg is coming more through, and we're starting to then see that better level of work. So all in all, very, very pleased with this guy. You're good. Come. No, he says, I'm eating now. So that is where I'm going to leave this video. I will see you guys next week, I'm sure, maybe, if I've got something interesting going on. Maybe we'll get to go to a show soon. As I said, nationals are going to hopefully go ahead. So we'll go to a few, like, normal shows, day shows, locally, and then we'll go. It's all going to be a bit random because obviously we've not had the kind of run-up that we would have had, that we'd had from regionals. So, yeah, I hope maybe that the time we've had, though, has allowed us more time to be stronger and fitter and better. So, hopefully, fingers crossed. I think I just said so about 28 times, so I'm going to go. There I go again. Thanks so much for watching, as always, guys. Give us a subscribe and a like if you like the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.